What's poppin', y'all? We back with another, I gotta find a title for these. This is another car conversation, whatever we want to call it. Drop titles of what this series should be called. Like these are like vlogs, but I'm like talking while I'm driving, so I don't want to just say vlog. I want to call these something, whether it's car conversations. Somebody can come up with something slick or catchy. Y'all definitely drop those in the comments, and we'll vote on which one is the best or which one I should roll with. But right now I'm en route to the card shop. When I dropped the today is Monday, September 28th. I dropped the accountability video today. I was trying to record the video that I'm recording right now. I was trying to record yesterday when I was recording the accountability video. That's why in the accountability video you'll hear me say, like, don't be surprised if you see me wearing this again, because I'm recording multiple videos. The other video I was recording was me going to the card store, but the card store was closed because yesterday was Sunday and they closed earlier than usual on Sunday, of course. But now I'm up here again, and like I guess y'all don't know what I was saying in that video because it ain't coming out. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to bring this camera into the store because it's a card store. A card store is, first of all, you can't really bring a camera into any stores at all, really. I don't know too many stores that allow you to bring your vlog camera into them. But a card store especially, because, like, I don't want to sound dumb. Obviously a bank is like one of the most secured or serious establishments to go into because obviously there's money in the banks. But card stores are damn near the same way. Like, they're super careful with everything just because there's so many valuable things and so much money invested into those stores that, like, they're super cautious and careful about you know, how things go. And this is my card store. I'm building a relationship with them. I go, like, this is the card store I go to multiple times out of the week. I'm giving them my business. They're fair, they're cool. And like I said, I just think anytime you're doing something as a hobby or an investment or anything like that, you want to build a relationship with the people that you're getting your product or whatever from, because they, number one, can give you insight because it's what they're doing all day. These people in these car shops, they're in the car shops all day. They're watching the markets. They're keeping up with the boxes when they drop. They know everything because this is what they do all day, every day. You know what I mean? So they have all of the insight. So it's good to keep a relationship with them because they'll be able to help you out. Like, this, the reason I like these people, number one, is because they're not far at all. They're close to my uncle's barbershop. And then number two, I also have a trust with them because when I was trying to buy a box one day, these two boxes, and the reason why I said they're super cautious is, number one, this is the funny part, the guy wouldn't let me hold the boxes at the same time. Like I said, I'm into car collecting. I've been car collecting for a long time. So when I buy boxes, and this is advice for people that want to get into it, or if you're already into it but you don't know this, inspect the box. Read the box, look at the box, because the box will tell you a lot of different things. And there's a lot of differences in boxes by just the wording on them. So you might be looking at the same box, the same exact box, but then you might be looking and be like, why is that box $75 more? Why is that box $175 and this one is $259? And it's probably the same exact box, but the wording is different. Like, some boxes will be like, you can pull an autograph, you know, like, look for autograph or relic cards. And then the box that costs $80 more, it'll say the same thing, but in at the bottom or like across somewhere, it'll say guaranteed autograph or relic cards. It'll tell you a certain amount. You're guaranteed to pull two autograph cards with this box. So a lot of boxes can be the same, but this box is guaranteeing that you're going to pull an autograph card at the least. At the least, this box guarantees that you're going to pull 2 autograph cards. They're not guaranteeing that the autographs will be the best player or a high valued player. You can pull 2 autograph cards and they can be worthless cards, even though they're autographed. Or shit, you can pull a fucking Mike Trout signed card and it's high value. You don't know, but they're guaranteeing that you are going to pull some type of autograph card. So a lot of times I like to look at the box, read the box, look what I'm looking for, trying to figure out exactly what I'm looking for, seeing if there's anything special. But he only let me hold one at a time. Even though I had already, this wasn't my first time at the store either. But it just showed like they're that cautious, because you gotta stay on your toes. I'm sure people would just fucking run out of a card store with both boxes and just like run. Like I'm sure that has happened before and would happen, will probably happen some more. But also the other point that I was making on why I rock with them and why I feel comfortable with them is because when I was also looking at both of those boxes, he told me, he like advised me on which one to go. He was like, yo, that box right there is probably going to give you a lot more value than this box. And he was referring me and advising me to buy the box that was a little cheaper. Both boxes were $150+, but one of them was like $2 something and this was just like $175. He was advising me to buy the box that was $175 because he was telling me there's probably going to be more value in that box. Even though this box is more expensive, this box has more value. And I respect that as a consumer, because when you go into establishments and stores, you automatically think that they want you to spend as much money as you can. But that's how you build a trust in a relationship, you know, when people are being truthful, honest, and looking out. You know what I mean? He could have just sold me the most expensive box and not giving a damn about my outcome. But he's telling me the truth, and I respected that. And that makes me as a customer want to come back. It makes me trust them more. And you know, it just builds that, like I said, it builds that relationship. But I'm here. I'll finish my conversation. When I get back in the car, I'm not even gonna try to take the camera in here, because I already know that they don't want it, and I wouldn't want it if I opened up a car shop either, because people could be fucking watching the video or acting like they're filming the video just to scope out your store and be planning to rob it. So I get it. It's a lot of memorabilia, cards, and expensive, and it's money in here, of course. But I come back, finish my conversation, and then when I get to the crib, we'll open up the boxes. I'm back. Just made our purchase. I'm not even gonna tell you how much it costs. Honestly, I'm not. But one thing I will say is, I was talking to Kenny. Obviously, it's my cousin. We do the podcast together, whatever. We have some of the same interests too, because we grew up together. You know what I mean? Like, it is my cousin. It ain't like the, you know, I know some people have cousins that are like, what do they call it, like second cousins, or they're like family friends, but they just call themselves cousins. Like me and Kentrell really grew up together, so we have we have similar interests, similar hobbies, and whatnot. And we were talking about the cards or whatever, because we obviously both collect and are into it. He does basketball, I do baseball. But what I was telling him is I might have to get into basketball, because with baseball, it's so many fucking players, man. It's so many players. Not even just like position wise. Obviously there's more positions in baseball than basketball. Like I said, obviously. But what you gotta also understand is that there's 4 levels of baseball, right? So you have the major leagues, which is the highest level. You then have the minor leagues, but inside the minor leagues, there's 3 levels of minor leagues. There's AAA, which is the highest in the minors. There's AA, which is the second highest, and then there's single A baseball. And usually, you know, younger players, depending on how good they are, how young they are, because you got some guys that come out of college, played in college for years, and they're already, you know, 20 something years old when they get drafted. So they may start in AA. Like, you're the first overall pick, you played 4 years in college, you're already 22, 23 years old. You don't need much development. So we're gonna start you there, because you do need to develop. And also for contractual reasons, there's this thing in baseball that's called service time. And service time, you know, it dictates when you're gonna be a free agent and how long a team can have full control over you. So if you don't have a certain service time when you first start playing in the majors, this dude driving crazy, but basically it's control. So like Chris Bryant, you know, I remember his rookie year, he didn't start off with the clubs at the MLB, at the major league level. because of service time. They wanted to keep his service time down, so contractually they can have control of him for 7 years and have full advantage of him for 7 years while he's at the pro level. So you don't want to give a guy, you don't want to have a guy spending too much service time with again, people just driving dumb. But you just want to keep that service time down, so by the time they're in the majors, you can have them for a big portion of their career. You don't want to have a guy spending too much service time fucking and you're barely using him, or he's young or whatever. But I don't even know which way I'm taking or which way I want to go. I'll just keep straight. And now I'm distracted. But yeah, so you have 4 levels of baseball. You already have, there's 5 positions in basketball, and in baseball you have a first baseman with there's 9 places to be on the field. So you have a catcher, a pitcher, you have first, second, short, and then third, and then you have the 3 outfielders, which is 9 positions. So there's 9 positions, there's already 4 more positions, and then, you know, every team has a 40-man roster in baseball compared to a 15-man roster at max for the NBA. So you're talking about a team that has double the players, and that's why the card collecting in baseball can be a lot more harder, because there's so many people to pull from. So it makes your chances of pulling a Mike Trout or whatever card you're trying to get, it's not that it's less likely, because of course they're boosting those popular players in the packs, but also, you know, just because it's so many players, that the odds are kind of stacked against you. Versus if you're doing basketball, your chances of getting certain players are probably higher because it's not that many people to begin with. So I was like, shit, I might have to start getting into basketball card collecting, so my chances go up. But I think that's why, and this is, like I said, BMW problems. Cool, it stopped making that noise. But there's a basketball is also a little bit more expensive, and that's probably why. Like, probably because it ain't that many people. And when I mean more expensive, I mean like early on. Like I remember, like at certain cars, it'd be like, damn, that card is already worth that much in basketball. And the trajectory in basketball is also easier to determine, because like Ja Morant is clearly a star. He's gonna be a star. Baseball, a dude can look beautiful in his first year, he come back and he's just garbage. You know what I mean? Like pitchers, you don't know how long the lifespan of a pitcher can be. He can dominate the league for a few years, and then all of a sudden he comes back and more people, I mean not more people, but the league hasn't figured out, like, oh, we figured out his curveball, so that curveball isn't as effective as it was when he was a rookie, so now everybody is rocking the shit out of that curveball, when his rookie year nobody could hit it. So like shit like that is like, you know, so much goes into baseball, like you can get figured out. Even hitters, oh, he loves this pitch, he likes it high and in, so we're going to pitch him low and away, and then next thing you know, boom. Yeah, that's why baseball is also tough, because guys can figure you out, man. Guys can figure you the fuck out, and when you get cold, you get cold. So but I forget what I was even talking about before I got in there, but again, I think it was, yeah, building a relationship with them. Super trustworthy. I just went in there, and when I bought what I bought today, again, same thing as always, man. They just super cool, super relaxed. They're not trying to pressure you into buying things. They're not trying to guide you. They're not asking you a bunch of questions. They just let you shop, let you do your thing, and they just stay out the way. And when you need them, they're right there. And I think as a customer, we all know, you know, that's the best, is when you are able to shop and they let you do your thing, and when you need them, they're there. But I hate going into stores. It don't even have to be a card store. It can be a fuck anything. There's certain clothing and shoe stores that I'll go to, and they'll be all in your face. What can I help you with? What you look for? What you need something today? Just to let you know, yeah, you looking at those? You like those? It's like, bro, like a certain mall over here by where I live, there's a certain shoe store that I go into, because they have certain shit and they be having deals on stuff that's more than shoes, like basketball shorts, whatever. But I hate going in there because they're always in your face. Like, bro, you're not going to convince me to buy shit I don't want to buy. That's insulting to me as a customer to think that you're just going to slick talk me into buying something that I don't want. I know if I want something, I'll let you know. I can't get anything without letting you know anyway. You have to ring me up, get me the shoes and all. I have to talk to you if I want something. So damn, let me shop in peace, let me look, and if I need you, I'll tell you. But other than that, you know, it's nothing wrong with when you come in, it's nothing wrong for them to greet you and tell you about deals or ask you, do you need help with anything? Are you looking for anything specific? That's what they're supposed to do. But after that, once I tell you, no, I'm just good, I'm just looking, just let me look. Just let me look, man. I don't know about y'all, but I hate that, man. I hate that. Going into the mall, going to a shoe store, usually in shoe stores are like urban fucking places where you shop, and they all on your ass. And it's like, bro, it's irony that you think by knowing me you're going to get more business, but it's the opposite. So it's ironic that you're doing this because you think you doing this is going to help me buy something or make me buy something, when in reality it's going to make me not buy shit. So it's irony. You know, it's just like the lame dudes in high school or school in general. It's like it's a lot of people who do shit to be cool, but ironically the shit that they're doing makes them lame because you're trying to be cool. Just be yourself. That was always the most ironic thing in high school. It's like there's so many people that you see, they're doing shit to be cool, but the shit they're doing to be cool makes them lame. And it's like, that's just so ironic that the shit you're doing to be cool makes you lame. Crazy. But yeah, they let you shop. Cool. We was in there talking about the fucking football game, Monday Night Football, Ravens versus Chiefs. You know what I mean? Just being cool. Just like that's just what I'm saying. Like talking to you, just, you know, being cool, and that makes you feel welcome. And when you know, when you buying things as expensive as these boxes and shit, you know, you want to feel at home in certain places. You want to feel at ease. I don't want to feel pressured or rushed or annoyed while I'm making a decision on a $250 box of cards. Just don't want to. I don't want it to be. You know, shit, I don't care if I'm paying 99 cents. I don't want to feel rushed, bothered, or annoyed when I'm making any purchase. I should be able to make my decision in peace. I should be able to take my time. I should be able to look over anything I want to look over before I commit to buying this. And that's the atmosphere they have in there. I also like it because it's kind of in a cut. So I've never been in there and it's been like just too many people. I think at most it's always been one other person. The most customers I've ever seen in there is 2, and it's me and somebody else, and rarely is there somebody else in there. So yeah, trying to think if there's anything else. I talked to y'all about making sure y'all look at the box, read the box. Talk to y'all about forming that relationship, getting you a spot where that's your spot. They know you, they're familiar with you, you're in the system, so you get emails when you spend a certain amount of money that you know that you can enter raffles. They, like, car shops have all these type of things. And then again, once they begin to know you and everything, they'll tell you shit that they don't owe you. You know what I mean? And they might tell a stranger if it's your first time or you don't even go that often. You know what I mean? But anytime you have a relationship with anybody, a person, company, anything, you know, it's just better. It's just better to have familiarity with what's going on. You want to be familiar with who you're doing business with, especially, like I said, it don't even have to be car collecting, but a lot of the shit that people are, quote unquote, making hobbies or investing in, they're expensive. So be it. It could be sports memorabilia. Right next to the car store is a comic book store. Some of y'all might be into comics. That can be expensive and get expensive. So if you're spending money on comics and collecting comics and doing all of that, build a relationship, man, so you can start getting the emails on, you know, when the next one is dropping, or how to get them early, or hey, since you bought 3 last month, we're going to give you a free one this week. You know what I mean? You want to have that type of relationship. I just think that is key. And shit, you might get some backdoor information. The dude may see you there all the time. He might be like, listen, 411, how you could really get it is doing this and that, and then if you do that and that, you can get that. And it may not be some shit you know, because you're not in that business like them. You know what I mean? Like, whenever a person owns a car store, shoe store, anything like that, they have legitimate connections. You know, Foot Locker has a relationship with Nike. That's why they're getting shoes. They're always stocked with shoes. There's a legitimate relationship there. So when you have those card stores, they have relationships with Topps and Bowman and Panini. You know what I mean? They're not just going to Target and just buying all the boxes and just putting them up for display. They getting them straight from the source. And that was another thing that I meant to mention when I was talking about Kenny is like I was saying, my box that I bought today was expensive, but not expensive compared to Kenny. Kenny be telling me some of the prices he'd be spending on his, and he'd be telling me, like, he was actually kind of putting me on game a little bit, because he was saying, like, you know, sometimes it's not even super smart to be buying like $1,000 boxes, because the value isn't even, it's like MRSP. It's the same thing you'll see when you're buying a car. So they'll be like, the value of the car is $45,000, but the MRSP, I think that's the right order it goes in. I can't remember. I never remember it, but I think it is MRSP, because they tell you that for cars. And Kenny was mentioning for cards, like the baseball cards. But when I was even car shopping before I got my Beamer, I was looking at MRSP and everything too, because like you'll have a car for like, let's just say a dealership. Let's just say I have a dealership and I'm trying to sell one of y'all a fucking this Beamer, and I got it up there for $47,000, right? But then you go and you find out that the MRSP is only $34,000. So you probably gonna be like, I want that car, I just don't want it from Pierre, because Pierre, what he's asking for, the car isn't that valuable. So with the MRSP for the cards is, what Kenny was saying was, some boxes, they'll be like, here, this is $1,000, but the value that's inside the box isn't $1,000. It's only $200. So the value that's inside the box is really only $200. You just lost $800, really, if you don't hit a specific card. Because usually if a box is $1,000, there's a specific card or two that you're trying to get. Like, I bought an expensive box of baseball cards from 2001. The box was 20 years old, and they were looking for specific cards, because we're 20 years in the future, so we know exactly what players are the most valuable. And it was only a couple. It was like Josh Beckett, Albert Pujols, and there was somebody else that is just not coming to mind right now. Not coming to mind, but those were the top two. The number one is Albert Pujols. So, you know, I'm trying to think. So when I buy my boxes, I feel comfortable, because I never spend nothing crazy. I think the most I've ever spent on a box was like $250. And usually you can make your $250 back, because what happens is, right now there's a market. It's the internet, so it's markets everywhere. You got eBay, you got all type of places you can sell your cars, do whatever. And cards inside of these boxes, they add up. So what a lot of people want is, a lot of people trying to hit home runs on cards that are worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. But if you buy a box of cards that has 85 cards in it, and none of those cards are super value, none of them are worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, right? But if on average, out of those 85 cards, if the average price for each card is $3, you do the math. 85 times 3. You'll probably, 85 times 3, we'll do it right now. Can't do 85 times 3 off the top of my head. I got probably somebody watching this is probably done with it already. 85 times 3 is $255. So if you buy a box for $250, get 85 cards, and they're worth $3 on average, you just made your money back. You made a $5 profit. But a lot of people don't do that because of the work it would take. You would have to take pictures of 85 cards. You would have to find the value of the 85 cards. You would have to post pictures of the 85 cards on eBay. You would then have to ship out the 85 cards to each respective person. But that's just a hustle. That's just the grind. Some people in my position, we don't have to do that, because we make a decent enough money to where you probably like, shit, I don't want to do all of that. Yeah, I either want to hit the home run or I don't, or I'm gonna just keep it. But shit, for y'all who are younger, you know what I mean, just looking for a hustle, trying to get a hustle, trying to make a hustle out of a hobby, trying to have a hobby and a hustle, which is always smart, because then it gives you a reason. It's a benefit in what you're doing. You never want to have a hobby where you're just spending money, because then that you're just losing money. You know, that's just like video games. Now video games is a hobby, but now it can be a hobby and a hustle, because you can play video games, you can Twitch it, you can record yourself playing a video game, post it to YouTube, and just make, even if you don't have the platform that me or Nick Merckx or fucking anybody that's, you know what I mean, like I know Nick Merckx is super the biggest, but even if you don't have like 10,000 like me, but even if you're in a situation where shit, you can make $100 or a couple $100 a month by just playing your video game, you're profiting now off your hobby. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, every time the video game drops, you're buying the game, you're buying batteries, you're buying controllers, you're buying fucking the other video games. That would just be spending. But if you hustle within that hobby, now the $60 that you pay per game, you make back. So when you buy a game, you're not even buying it. You just got the game for free technically, because you're buying it with the money that you made off the game. It's free. So it's the same thing with, if somebody like y'all that are younger, you don't have a lot of time being dedicated into a quote-unquote career. Maybe you're just going to school and you have like a regular part-time job because you're in high school and you like car collecting, but you don't know how to turn that car collecting into a hustle. It's just a hobby right now, and you can't afford to just be putting in $250 into boxes of cars every week. So turn that shit into a hustle, man. Turn that shit into a hustle. That's a lot different than a conversation. And I don't even think that's the same conversation. But when I was recording this video earlier, but I had messed up, so I scrapped it. But what I was saying is like, and they saying I've been recording for 20 minutes already, so I'm gonna stop this. Or no, I'll let it rock. But what I was saying earlier, and I'll wrap the video on this note, but what I was saying earlier was like, as a guy who's really into the car collecting, it sometimes fucks the game up when you get rich people who just look at it as an investment. They don't have a love for it. There's no purity for it. They're just doing it just because it's a money grab. Just like shoes now. There's people who really are into the shoe culture. They love shoes. They have a true passion for it. Sneaker collecting and all of that. But then you have some people who realize it's a money grab now. You know what I mean? Now we have something called bots, which is ridiculous. You go on sneakers app and shoes are selling out in seconds, and then you go on a resale market and you see these dudes on Instagram or whatever, and they have 50 pairs of that super exclusive ass shoe because they bought 200 bots, and it's fucking up the game, bro. That shit is lame to me. But it's different if you just innocently hustling. Like, I can respect it if you buy a box of cards, you flip your box, make your money back, buy another box, make a profit, because maybe let's just say you pulled a card that has some value. Let's say you pull a card that's worth $500. You sell that plus the rest of the box. The rest of the box made you $150. You just made $650. Now you just keep flipping. I have no problem with that. You just hustling. You fairly and square. You know, you hustling fair and square, and you getting yours. But when you got rich people who have no passion for it, there's no hustle. I just have so much money, so I'ma just dump all of this money that I have into this culture, or this whatever you want to call it, this passion of others, and I'm gonna benefit from it. That's when it's lame to me. And that's what I see people doing with the shoe game and the car game. Some people don't have no passion, no love, no desire, but it's a money grab. They don't know shit about shoes, but hey, my dad's rich, so I'm gonna just take my dad's credit card and I'm gonna fucking buy 500 bots. So every time fucking sneaker apps drop an exclusive pair of Jordans or Off-Whites, I'm gonna buy as many as I can and I'm gonna resell them for double the price. And now I'm just fucking a multi-millionaire because I'm finessing and cheating the game. Versus a guy like one of y'all who, let's just say you hit the jackpot on sneakers and you like, man, I got these Off-Whites, these retail are going for 200, but resale I can sell them for 950. And you start your little business, a little hustle like that. Now you take your 950 and you try to get some more exclusive shoes. The next time another drop comes and you hit the jackpot again. And shit, now you sold those for 800. So now you got a little over $1,000, almost a couple $1,000 off your little hustle. Nothing wrong with that. You're just hustling. You know what I mean? And now you can go get some shoes. Now off of those 2 shoes that you wanted, you can go and get 4 pair of your dream shoes that you've always wanted. Because maybe your dream shoes ain't $800. Like my dream shoes that I've wanted since I was a kid, they're like 7 pair of Jordans. They go for like, at most, they'll be like 400 something. I don't have a shoe that I really want that's like $1,000. Those are just all off-white shoes. But like childhood shoes, like Jordans and shit, Kobe's or something, they be a couple hundred. Some Kobe's are ridiculously charged because he passed away. But there's no shoes that I want that are like my dream shoe, and they're just thousands of dollars. So I just think that that's corny when it's like that. You know, I don't have no problem with no kid or kids or even a grown folk just having a hustle and getting theirs. But when it's just like privileged, entitled, rich people just trying to get richer and fucking up the game, and they're not even doing it in a pure way. When you do bots, that's cheating, bro. Bots is cheating. Everybody else is here on the app, waking up at 9:45, trying to be on the app by 10 o'clock and just trying to pull it with a raffle, with a regular raffle. But if you have 500 bots, you're getting 500 raffles, you better get the fucking shoes. It's cheating. But that's, I guess, my TED talk. We might have to call this plug talk, not TED talk, Beamer talk or something. We're gonna come up with something slick. But that's it, man. I'm about to head to the crib and open up this box of cards for y'all. Hopefully that's a big pull. But I'm out.